All right now, family. So we just begin the part 5 of this very wonderful message titled For You and Me, The Mystery of Quran. It is Eternal Ebola Virus and Slave Master part 5. So family, of course, I'm going to be sharing it, of course. So in case you come in contact with this part 5, kindly go and listen to 1, 2, 3, 4 in order for you to understand what this letter A carries. We have already established the letter Q, the letter U, the letter R. So if you are a constant follower by now, you should have understand what YAHUAH'S is doing in this very platform that is being dedicated unto Yahuwah, Yahushua, and the Ruach HaKodesh Eternal. That he is teaching alphabet by alphabet, unveiling the very deep meaning of words. Okay, so we have already started. We are about to be done. Okay, unveiling the mystery of Quran. What is Quran in a nutshell, or in totality? What is Quran and who is Quran? Go listen to part where we did a brief introduction of how Quran came into being. The author of Quran, okay, we did a brief introduction, so you can just go and listen to it in order for you to understand the origin of Quran. All right, listen to 2. We unveil the first alphabet at part 2, which is Q. Okay, we unveil U at part 3, the arrow at part 4. So it's like every alphabet has their own clave. I think that is very, wise. Okay, so right now I want to deal with the letter A before we not proceed to the very last letter of it all, which is N. Okay, so this is what Quran, and this is who is Quran, and this is what Quran is in totality. So right now, what does the letter A go for? Prior to all this wicked spirit, YAHUAH has already unveiled the letter Q is a wicked spirit. U is a wicked spirit. R is a wicked spirit. For the A against, they are all wicked. Because what YAHUAH did not give unto you, of course, Satan did. Quran was never being instituted by YAHUAH, not at all, but Allah, the author of confusion, did. Alright, so right now the letter A say where the spirit of YAHUAH is, there has to be a liberty, or there is a liberty. Okay, there is freedom, but not so with Quran. Quran came to contradict the whole situation. He came with another gospel. This is another gospel that Royal Law speaks about. He contradicts every single biblical prophecy in the Royal Law, the center of our faith. What we live for, Quran denounce it. The cross, the death, the burial, and the resurrection. Quran says it's not so. The divinity, the deity of Yahushua HaMashiach, Quran says isn't true. The fellowship of a father and a son, Quran says isn't true. No. It's a wicked book, okay? So right now we begins the letter A. So what did I go for? It simply go this simple way. It is a demon, okay? Always know all this alphabet, they are all demon, in collaboration to wage war against humanity. They are all men or demons of war. So right now the letter A, what did it go for? It simply go in this very simple way. Where is it? Oh, my father. Okay, the letter A. Accuser hunger against all flesh. Should I take it again? He's an accuser. He have a hunger, and his hunger is against all flesh on earth. Okay, except he convert to Islam. This is the nature. This is not coincident, people. This is what Quran is in totality. Accuser, okay, hunger against all flesh. He is an accuser. He carries hunger against all flesh, against all. Okay, the only one that will be free, like I said in part 4, is an option placed before you and me. Free option. The first is to enter the ark, in order for you to run out of their madness, not to be a victim. Or the second option, get ready to die in the face of affliction, which is the Sharia law, mark of the beast. Or the third option, you convert to Islam. That means eternal damnation. So pick one out of three. It's an option. So look into all three and see which one is good for you. For me, I pick two, the first and the second, okay? If I'm not qualified for rapture, to enter the Ark of Noah. The second option to take is to die for my faith. I will not renounce Yahushua, okay? So that is the nature of this segment. If you can also volunteer to help your soul. So right now, so we see accuser anger against all. He carries anger, is an accuser. He's going to accuse you of what you believe, accusing us already of the cross, of the fellowship of a Father and a Son, of our Messiah. He accuses all. You know, our religion is going to submit to Islam. Listen to what letter Q is, to what U is, to what arrow is. They are all profound and powerful. Okay? So when you know what is at next or what is at the door, it will be very, very much simple or easy for you to figure out what to do and what step to take. So not so much talk. Let's, scriptures to validate this very letter A. All right, now, Genesis, here I am, Bereshit chapter 16. I read verses 12, okay? He will be a white, okay, let me take it from the 11 for a better understanding. The angel of Yahuwah also said to her, you are now with child, and you will have a son. You shall name him Ishmael. All right? Ishmael is the progenitor of Islam. And Quran is the governing system of Islam. And Ishmael is the reason for the Quran. Okay? He is the author of Quran. In totality, Ishmael brings about Quran. You're going to see that not too long. Okay? Why is this so? So now verses 12, listen now. The kind of a child, when you listen to part 4, you're going to see a child over there that needs to rule the whole world, which is Yahushua HaMashiach, with the rod of iron. You know what iron is? Unbreakable power. All right? But Quran also have a child that needs to rule. All right, now listen now. 12. He will be the kind of a child we are looking into. Listen now, the kind of a child Ishmael will be. Listen, he will be a white donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone. I hang it over there. His hand is going to reach out to everyone. It's going to be against. You know what against is? What you believe it is total garbage before this very spirit. So what the spirit says, that is final. That concludes it. It's going to be against your own. It's already against our Bible. It's already against our belief. They said our Bible is corrupt. That is why Allah bring Quran. They are against our cross. The cross that brings about my eternal state, rest. They are against it. They are against burial. They are against death of Messiah. Against burial of him. Against resurrection. That's why he never resurrected. That is, he never died. So if he never died, no burial, no resurrection. And he's not the son of Yahuwah. He said, unto us a child is given. His governorship is going to be upon his own shoulder. Listen to part 3. We unveil, which is the unholy spirit. The U is unholy spirit that discreates every belief of our royal law. Yes, it's against. That is the nature. This is who Quran is. Listen to part of the U, which is the part 3. You're going to find it out. The arrow, religious war. Religious war. Listen to it. The Q, let me just throw it out. The Q, what was that? Quarrelsome spirit quenched of fire. For you to believe Quran, Christianity needs to be off, quenched. It's a quarrelsome spirit. You, unholy spirit. They said Muhammad is a holy spirit. I said no, it is not true. It's unholy. Arrow, religious war. That is the third war we are about to enter now. Then what is the A? Accuser anger against all flesh, against all, not some part. You must convert. All right now. So you see the kind of a child that came. You see, the royal law makes it so clear. When you break the edges, the serpent is going to bite you. Okay, so what's bringing about Ishmael? How the Ishmael came into the family? Let's touch on that a little bit. So whatever a mistake one make, there are some mistakes you can do. There are some lives for eternal. So the mistake of Father Abraham is going to lead son to eternal damnation. This is Father Abraham mistakes, huge mistake that is bringing about double-edged sword in our neck, that is going to make some to be afraid and renounce our Messiah and convert to Islam. Yes, the Father Abraham did it. He did it. He acted so faithless. So let's touch on that before we continue. So right now, we're back in Genesis 15:5. YAHUAH promised Father Abraham his own son, his own child, from Mama Sarah, that his own child, they are going to be so uncountable like the stars, okay, of heaven. But Father Abraham, bypassed those promises YAHUAH made with him and not listen to the voice of a woman again. This is the second woman. The serpent is used to pour away the plans of YAHUAH in order for him to mingle with us. That is what he's doing. Genesis 3, we see how he also used a woman to pour this man away. And we also see again Genesis 60 how he also used another woman to pour Father Abraham away. That is bringing about double-edged sword today in our neck. What the first woman did, he brings damnation to you and me today. Okay, to die, to suffer. That brings about the first woman teaching. Brings about that the man lost his own kingdom. That serpent is now riding on the earth, the very kingdom of Adam. The woman brings about the teaching, and he go for it. He couldn't, because YAHUAH gave you the law. He gave you the law only for you to bring the woman under subjection. But the man was weak, and he submitted to the teachings of the woman Kawa, okay, the first woman. That brings about this catastrophic today and suffering and chaos you and I, or the earth, is going through today. As soon as that one was done, this serpent came again to teach woman wickedness again, to lure man again into wickedness, and the man was so weak again, acted in flesh again, and forgetting what YAHUAH has disclosed unto him again, and then look cast it on the foot and not go again for the teaching of the woman. This again brings about double-edged sword in our neck. I read now Bereshit, Genesis 16:1. Now Sarah, Abram's wife, had born him no children. Okay, but she had an Egyptian maidservant named Hagar. So she said to Abram, YAHUAH has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my maidservant. Perhaps I can build a family through her. Abram agreed to what Sarai said. Did you get that? He agreed. He forgets and neglects and don't look. Okay? The promises YAHUAH gave unto him and said, through you, Sarai, I'm going to give a wonderful son. But this man, forget all this topic and just go ahead and begin to bang. When you break the edges, surely serpent is going to bite you. And we knew who is a God. And we knew what our belief is. And we knew who is our God. It is Allah, the serpent. He is our God. In Egypt, they normally worship woman vagina. And today we now see that same, vagina being worshipped in Islam. The right hand of Allah, the very right hand, what Allah used to take away sin, it is woman vagina. That is the black stone. You see how they shape it? It is woman vagina. All right. And the right hand possession of Islam, it is vagina. And their right hand possession reward in the heaven, it is vagina, 72 virgin. That is their right hand possession. Their right hand possession on earth, it is vagina. When they go into when the woman they capture, I don't know how many, could be thousand. It will becomes, their right hand possession, sex slave. And the very right hand of Allah, Yemina, It's also that simply means the right hand of Allah is a stone and is a woman vagina. So that is what the Egypt worship. And she not carry that gas, that demon into our family. And the royal law make it so clear, when you join with the woman, you become one. And Father Abraham go and join with this paganism woman, and then I become one, drop something. Allah now sneak in the serpent, and I brought a demonic child from the pit of hell, which is Ishmael. And you see the nature of Ishmael. His hand is going to reach out against everyone. It said his hand is going to be against everyone. So this is who Ishmael is in a nutshell. You see the Quran, yes, you see the Quran, yes. They will be against all nations. You must convert it. Right now, this is the mistakes of Father Abraham. Abba YAHUAH has already made a promises and said, I will meet you at a particular set period of a time. So now Mama Sarah wants to help YAHUAH, writing herself off, and said, I'm not good enough anymore, to bring about this great promised child. So she now have a better idea to help Abba YAHUAH. Through the voice of serpent, she now begin to teach and minister unto her husband. Her husband that Abba YAHUAH gave the promises, he also write Abba YAHUAH off and said, you won't be able to do this. Okay, I'm old, I'm an old man. My wife is also an old woman. How can that be? Listener, let me quickly read it for your hearing. He himself also write Abba YAHUAH off. They both discreate that promises, and then now go for satanism teachings that brings about this war today in our lives. Okay, I read now Genesis 17. Listen to what Abraham said. And Abraham said to YAHUAH, if only, okay, I read 17, because it was still after the satanic demonic child that came from the pit of hell with Quran. I read now Genesis 17. Abraham fell, or should I take from 16? Okay, let me take from 16. I will bless her and will surely give you a son by her. He's talking about Sarah. I will bless her so that she will be the mother of nations. Kings of peoples will come from her. Listen, Abraham fell face down. He laughed and said to himself, will a son be born to a man 100 years old? Will Sarah bear a child at the age of 90 years? Listen, 18. He now pray that blessing should be directed to Ishmael. Okay, Allah stand upon that prayer and trying to direct the blessing not to Ishmael, but it can't work. 19. Then YAHUAH said, yes, but your wife Sarah will bear you a son, and you will call him Isaac or Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his descendants after him. Okay, 21. Now listen. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, whom Sarah will bear to you by this time next year. Did you get that? Abba YAHUAH still make it so clear where he was still keeping a negotiating, and let's give the blessing to Ishmael, let's direct it to Ishmael, because you think Abba YAHUAH can't do it, he can't do it, he can't do this. How they write Abba YAHUAH up and they not give to the satanism teaching, which is the serpent, just get to bring about chaos in this last time and last days, because assuming Ishmael was not there won't be anything like Quran. Ishmael is the progenitor of Islam that brings about Quran today. And you know what Quran said? 109 verses speaks or teaches and gives everyone on earth. If you don't convert your head, chopped off. That's it. But now, Acts of Apostle 17:30, it said Abba YAHUAH overlooked ignorances of those days. Now, he command every man to repent. Okay, we cannot dwell on the mistakes of Father Abraham, not at all. We are all working out our salvation every now and then. Even though a double-edged sword is coming because of his mistakes, we don't live on that. We keep on moving and to keep the royal law. Abba YAHUAH gave promises unto Father Abraham, not for him to fall out of it, but rather for him to be strong in faith. But indeed, for Father Abraham, he fell out of faith. Okay, So he waited only for 10 years. Therefore, they not take judgment into their hands and to help Abba YAHUAH'S out. But Abba YAHUAH initially wanted to build a strong faith in him, you see, to consider him a dead one in order for a resurrection to be given. And we see that illustration through Isaac. Okay, just an illustration. Okay, you must be a dead man. Hebrew 11:12 make it so clear that from the dead man, from one dead man, there springs out, innumerable seeds, offspring. Okay, so that initially what Abba YAHUAH intended to make him die to, like for you to say you cannot do it, for you to recognize, no, this one I can't do it. Give it up to Yahuwah. That was the faith Abba YAHUAH wanted to reach out to in the life of Father Abraham and Mama Sarah, but they missed it. Okay, they just mixed it. They couldn't hold on to what Abba YAHUAH said. Abba YAHUAH wanted him to die to flesh, totally let flesh go away from you, in order for you to be alive in the spirit. A man of 100 years, that is gone. A woman of 90 years, the menopause is gone, is dead. The womb is dead totally. Yes, that is what Abba YAHUAH wanted to reach out to in order to bring about this one miraculous seed. It was an illustration. When all hope is gone, when serpent overthrown Abba YAHUAH in Genesis 3, knocked out Abba YAHUAH from the earth, pushing him now to one corner, he riding on the earth. It's like a kind of a hope is gone. But there will be a resurrection. It said the earth himself will be delivered. A glorified body is also going to be given unto this earth. You can get that account from Revelation 21. All the time is going to be pure gold. Yes. Okay. But for that to come now, you and I is going to be calling it miracle. That will still reach out. Abba YAHUAH still reach out to his earlier plans. So that was the illustration Abba YAHUAH was trying to dig out from Father Abraham, but he missed it. He missed it from the first woman. The second one, he did miss it. They all missed it, the field. Okay. He wanted that to be a miracle. Yeah, of course, we still call it a miracle because for a man of 100 years old to bring out a very healthy son, it is a miracle. For a woman of 90 years old, to still give birth, it is a miracle, isn't it? Of course. Abba YAHUAH still reach out, even though they wanted to help him, still he never succumbed to what they thought. He still reach out to his plans and still consider them both died. They died to flesh, even though they acted already in flesh, but it still make them to let that flesh go for you to be alive in the spirit. So for you to know that the demon, the serpent that attacked the first woman and the first man, right in Genesis 3, that is still the same wicked spirit that attacked the Father Abraham and Mama Sarah to pour away the plans of Abba YAHUAH. Let me give you one way out of that for you to understand it. Okay, you see in Genesis 16, when a guy saw that she was pregnant, you can read it, she now despises our Mama Sarah. Then Mama Sarah now said, my wrong be upon you. He now begin to lay that curses upon Father Abraham. Now my wrong is upon you. Okay, I gave you my maid servant, and look at how she is treating me, and look at what Father Abraham did. Instead of him to quench that fire and put peace in his own house for peace to reign, what did he do? He now give go ahead. He said, your maid servant, your house girl is in your hand. Treat her anyhow, deal with her anyhow. You just feel best. You see, so it's a kind of, throw more bomb in it. That is chaos. That is Allah in totality, because he's a confusionalist. You see, he is a confusionalist. You see, when he attacked the first man, the first woman, what did they do? They now begin to shift blame upon each other. And the woman said, it is serpent, oh, that deceived me. Oh. And the man said, it is the woman you put here, oh, that deceived me. Oh. But the serpent have no one to blame. Rather, he's going to blame his action and blame his flesh. But they still got the penalty of punishment. And when the problem also occurred, right, also in the Father Abraham and Sarah and Hagar, three of them, what did they do? And Sarah began to say, Abraham, you did this. So instead of her to remove her own sandals, the plank in her eyes, instead of her to recognize her fault and know that she's the one that devil simply used to bring in this confusion, she failed to recognize that. Instead of Father Abraham to also recognize his own fault and say, oh, why should I give into her teaching when Abba Yewa promised me already? Why should I break the promises of Abba Yewa when listening to her and listening to flesh? Instead of him to recognize his fault and put things in order, what did he do? He now also said, a God, that you are you disrespect your mistress, therefore you're gonna be punished for that. He now said to Sarah, handle her the way you play. Just to to put in some kind of bomb, to release some kind of bomb in the family. Instead of you to make peace and recognize your own fault and say, I'm the one that did this. Let me put things in order. No, he couldn't. So then I begin to shift blame. This one take judgment in your hand. The other one take judgment in your hand. When Mama Sarah really take judgment in her hand, Hagar fled. She couldn't. Yahushua and Sarah returned back onto her. The child is already there. And we are saying that is a child of Father Abraham. Go back and give birth to that child. And let us know where our enemy is. Let us put our finger there. Like Yahushua said unto Judas. He said, whatever you want to do, do quickly. So you have to do. You start it already. You need to finish it. Go back. All right. So that was how, for you to know, the same spirit that attacked the first man in Genesis 3, also is still the same spirit that attacked Father Abraham and Mama Sarah again to pour away the plans of Abba Yewa, which is the father of Hagar. Who could that be? The serpent, which is what the Allah is. Allah, okay? And Quran, that is where their teaching is coming from. In Genesis 3, Quran was being opened to the first woman. She picked the teachings of Quran and passed it out to the man. Chaos came. Again, where I just read Genesis 16, Quran again was being opened to Mama Sarah, and she read some version from the Quran to Father Abraham. That's it. Chaos came again. And this one is the greatest chaos. Confusion. All right, now back to accuser, anger, against all. You know, Ishmael was being disowned, okay, being rejected by Father Abraham, being knocked out and kicked out of the family. So now he don't have a father. So that is why Allah don't have a son. Because their progenitor, the author of Quran, physically, he has no father. So that is why Allah don't have a son. And Hagar, their mother, was a slave in our mama house, in our papa house. So that is why they'll say Allah don't have a son. What did Allah have? Only slaves. They say Islam said they are the slaves of Allah. Okay, can you take this? When you be disowned by your father, so are you going to be happy all your life? No, you're going to be having some kind of bitterness in your heart. You're going to be filled with brutality against that family, your father and your half-brother and your stepmother. You're going to be carrying some kind of hatred for them. You're going to be, how can your father, denounce you and rejected you? You will be saying, you can't move on. Even though you are trying to move on in life, somehow, you're going to be having pains in your heart. Okay, you're gonna be having pains in your heart. Abba Yahuwah, in his wisdom and power, he make it so clear that this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm going to do in order for you not to put others in pain. They put Ishmael in pain by renouncing and rejecting Ishmael, by casting him out of the family. You put him in that pains. You put him in that sorrow. So that is the hunger he's going to pour out upon everyone that said they have a father, upon everyone that said that there is a relationship. There is something like that, a relationship of a father and a son. Ishmael was not having that kind of relationship with his father, and you said there is a thing like that. Therefore, you wait for him. That is his anger. He's going to pour it on everyone. You see, Yahuwah wants to do his thing with the right person. Mama Sarah was the right person. Hagar was the wrong person. Okay? I bet Yahuwah wanted to do it with the right person at the right time. We see the set period of it. I said, by this time next year, I'm coming back in a right place. So that is how Abba Yahuwah has already ordained it. What is the right place? To take off the flesh, to cut off the foreskin of the Abraham penis. Okay, that is the timing clock of Abba Yahuwah. But Mama Sarah overthrown Abba Yahuwah. He fast forwarded in order to bring his satanic child. You brought this boy in and you renounce him. Therefore, that is his anger that is going to pour upon everyone on earth. There is no relationship of a father and a son. Because Ishmael was never having that relationship of a father and a son. He was being denied. And Allah have no son. That is why Allah don't have a son. That is why Allah is not a father. Because Ishmael doesn't have a father. They are just a slave because Hagar was a slave in Father Abraham's house. Ishmael and his progeny and his offspring, they are slaves to Allah. Allah is not a father, okay? So let's see the elder brother of Ishmael, the very seed of serpent. Genesis 3:15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. He shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. This is how they are engaged us. We are engaged, they said, because his hand is a white donkey of a man. Animal, donkey is an animal. We will get that very clear when we come to the very last alphabet. Okay, right now, when you go to chapter 4, Genesis 4, what happened? Because they are going to be against all, everyone. And we'll see how he be against us. He murdered the righteous Abel, the seed of serpent killed the righteous seed. Just as Ishmael wanted to kill Isaac. Okay? Yeah, that brings about that chaos. So it is the same spirit working in a different timing and in the different places and with different family. So we will of his father. You know the Pharisees, they are the seed of serpent as well. Because Daniel 2:43 make it so clear how this serpent mingle himself with the seed of man. They saw them mingle themselves with the seed of Father Abraham in bringing in, ushering in their own seed, which is Ishmael. So they mingle themselves with the seed of man in order to cover up their wickedness, their spiritual wickedness. You'll be thinking Ishmael is the natural seed of Father Abraham. In a nutshell, it is the seed of serpent. Just as Cain was the seed of serpent, the same Ishmael is the seed of serpent. But they will mingle themselves with the seed of man. Serpent mingle himself with Father Abraham in order to bring Ishmael. Just as serpent mingle himself with Adam to bring about Cain. Okay? The very one that is going to be doing the will of their father. The same with these Pharisees. John chapter 8, take it from 32, way down to 44. They were thinking that they were the seed of Father Abraham. Yahushua now point to them who is their father. They said they were not born of fornication. They had but one father, Abraham. Yahushua now saying, indeed, Abraham is your father. But if Abraham is your father, you will not do the will of your Abraham. But Abraham is not your father. Who is your father? Let me read their father for them. Because the serpent mingle is himself with the seed of man. Then man is going to be taking man as the children, seed of man. Genesis 6. What happened? Serpent also mingle himself with women. And not bring forth children that is being called giants. Cain is giant. Ishmael is a giant. All Pharisees, all this whatever, they are giant from the serpent himself. I read now 44. Yea, of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye would do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abide not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. For he is a liar and the father of it all. That's it. Why Yahushua called them a liar? They said they are the seed of Father Abraham. They have never been in no bondage. Really? You are a liar, because we were once in bondage in Egypt for a whole 430 years. And this Babylonian convert into Yahudi, I believe, now said that we are never in no bondage. How dare you not say we shall know the truth and the truth shall set us free? We will never be in no bondage. We are one seed. We have just one father. Abraham, Yahushua, that's okay. Let me point you to your real father. In the nutshell, your real father is serpent. The father of Ishmael is a serpent. But they not mingle themselves with the flesh. So let's also touch a little bit on flesh. Go and read, because the will of their father they are going to do. Korah is their father instruction. They're going to carry it out, walk around, set against humanity, against all. Daniel 11, just take your time and read. It speaks about anti-Messiah, which is Ishmael and his children, his offspring, because Ishmael is the progenitor of Islam, and they are the anti-Messiah. Read it and see the disaster they are going to do to the OF. Only 3 countries is reserved that I can confidently call the Ark of Noah, where the true or the wise virgin is going to rapture to. We are not going to no heaven. No, the days of Noah, there wasn't no heaven. Noah's ark never flew down to heaven. No, it was right here on earth, but being preserved and be raised above judgment. Abba Yahuwah's wrath, it is double wrath. Semper have a wrath, Abba Yahuwah have a wrath. Okay, it's gonna be a double, massive, mega wrath on earth. So this only three countries exempted. That is the Noah ark of Yahushua this time, the ark of Noah. Okay, that is where we are gonna be kept for this 7 year, 3.5 year great disaster here on earth. That is where the one that rapture is gonna be kept. Ishmael, madness can come nigh us because it came from the works of flesh. You can also read 1 John chapter 2, okay, 18 to 23. You're going to see why they are coming against you, because there is no father relationship. There is no son relationship. Only slave, because that is who they are. They want to pour that garbage on you for you to admit that you are a slave. You don't have a father. You are only a slave of Allah. That is what they are coming to do to you. That is what the Quran said. Okay, accuser hunger against all flesh. So now, why accuser anger against all flesh? You know, flesh can never cut up. Never. Flesh can never inherit the kingdom of Yahuwah. Never. This is another way where flesh will be stripped off. Believers. Anyone that still act in flesh, you will face judgment of flesh. Ishmael is the king and the judge of flesh. He's going to let you know how not to walk in flesh and how not to dwell in flesh. Because Father Abraham walked in flesh, and the mistakes of Father Abraham's flesh is coming to wage war against everyone. He said, because this is the kind of a child you have in your belly. It's a white donkey of a man. That is animal. Animal's kingdom is coming to wage war against all. He said his hand is going to be against everyone. That's it. Because his flesh, he came from flesh. He's going to carry out the duty of flesh. Because he didn't come from spirit. Revelation 4. Who can I say? Immediately I was in the spirit. Ishmael is the child of the flesh, and Yesiach is the child of the spirit, from whence Yahushua cometh. Flesh and blood can never inherit the kingdom of Yahuwah. Anyone that dwell in the flesh, you're going to face the judgment of flesh, which is Ishmael, the Sharia law. It's going to be against all flesh. Here I am, Galatians 4, 22 to 23. I read. For it is written, because Apostle Shaul described how disastrous the works of flesh is, and how the big mistake of Father Abraham walking in flesh. From there come Ishmael, because Ishmael came in flesh. Ishmael can never walk in spirit. That is why they always take judgment in their hand. When they discover any prophecy in Quran, they will just carry their gun, carry their fuel, carry their double-edged sword. They want to fulfill. Yes, that is a work of flesh. They want to do it in flesh. But Yahushua, with Yesiach, from where coming Yahushua, never come in flesh. He came but in the spirit. Listen now. For it is written that Abraham had 2 sons. They were born, the one by a bandmaid, the other by a free woman. There is a slave, that is why they are a slave of Allah. Okay. Now they want to let you know that you are not born by the free woman, that you are the offspring of the slave of Allah woman. So if you don't take that bleeded chap off your head, that is the works of flesh. They are coming to do that damages to flesh. That is why Yahushua said, fear not that key, fear them not that key. They can kill only flesh. They are coming to kill your flesh because they has authority over your flesh, because they came from flesh. Fear them not that kill the flesh. Afterward, they can't kill the spirit. Only those that is in the spirit is going to enter the paradise of Abba Yahuwah. We have been propagating over here. 23. But he who was of the band woman was born after the flesh. Did you get that? But he of the free woman was by the promise, which is the spirit. Okay, 24. They say which things are an allegory, for these are the 2 covenants. The one from the Masana, which is to bondage, which is Agar. It is eternal bondage. For this Agar is Masana in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which now is in bondage with our children. That's it. They are in bondage. They want to bring you down to this their bondage madness. Flesh can never inherit the kingdom of Yahuwah. Not at all. Listen to what flesh and spirit does to each other. Listen now. Galatians 5:17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. Ishmael is against the spirit, and the spirit is against the flesh, because he said his hand is going to be against everyone. All right, while everyone's hand against him, the spirit is against Ishmael, while Ishmael, the flesh, is against the spirit. That is why he wanted to murder the spirit, the promised child, which is Isaac, the one you call Isaac. And these are contrary, the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye won't. Yes, but if ye be led by the spirit, ye are not under. All right now, the causes of the law. The causes of the law, it simply means eternal domination. And the causes of the law, it is Quran. Quran is the causes of the law. It simply means eternal domination. Because Abba Yahweh say, if you love me, you keep my commandments. He said, he that loveth me, you love life. If you hate me, sorry, you are dead. Quran hate Abba Yahweh. Therefore, anyone that believes in Quran, it means eternal domination. That is the works of the flesh. If you love Abba Yahweh, you keep his law. That is what he said. But if you hate, he said you can't do that. And he said, anyone who hates him, love death. And Quran is author of death. Now, in your quiet time, for you to know the disaster the flesh is going to do to all flesh, okay, read Ezekiel 38/39, chapter 30, or chapter 38, or chapter 39. Read it. That is Arabic war. That is the Sharia law. The very mistake Father Abraham did thousands of years ago. We still see the reflection here today. We still see the result. He that breaks the edge, the serpent is going to bite. That is the works of flesh. It's coming against all, okay, because it's born of flesh. Okay, right, here I am, Romans chapter 8. I also want to put out what flesh does. For what the law, I take 3. For what the law could not do, in that it was worked through the flesh. Yahuwah sent his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us. The law have righteousness. So the flesh of the law, what the law could not do, the law could not give us salvation. The blood of goat, animal cannot give. It cannot subscribe for humanity. That is what the law cannot do. But Quran said it can do it. Quran don't believe in original sin. Quran said there is nothing like that of the sins of Adam and Kawa. Quran said man cannot die for man's sins. Quran said just carry stone and stone the devil at Hajjah. Then your sin is forgiven. The one they always do at Mecca every year. Then your sin is forgiven. That is working on salvation for yourself. That is the law. He can't be horrible santable. Of the law might be fulfilled in us. The law righteousness fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. For they that are after the flesh do the things of the flesh. That's it. Ishmael is born after the flesh. He walks after the flesh. He's going to do the things of the flesh. But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. That's it. For to be carnally minded, it is death. Quran simply means death. But to be spiritually minded, it is life and peace. That's it. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahuwah. Ishmael is against Yahuwah. Quran is against Yahuwah. Is against Yahushua. Is against the Ruach HaKodesh. For it is written, for it is not subject to the law of Yahuwah. The flesh can't subject to the law of Yahuwah. Neither indeed can be. He will not do it, and never will he do it. So they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahuwah. Flesh and blood can never inherit the kingdom of Yahuwah. You believing in the flesh, you going after, you are a gunner. Quran is flesh. Go and read it. It's full of sex, reward, carnal desire. Their heaven is full of sex activity. Their reward is sex, in heaven. Allah's reward is sex in heaven. Quran is just man-made. It's flesh, it's carnal. You can't place Yahweh with Quran. Quran is against the royal, it's against Yahweh, it's against heaven, it's against truth, it's against the Ruach HaKodesh. So Quran is against all. This is the author of Ismail, and this is the very fourth alphabet of this word called Quran. Accuser. He accuses us 90 days. He accuses the royal and said the royal law is corrupt. The royal law is tempered. That is what Allah said Quran. Yes, he accuses the royal law direct. Okay. And said the royal law is corrupt. But if they want to prove they are filthy Muhammad, that Muhammad is a Holy Spirit, they will not come to the royal law. So for you to know how filthy and desperate these people are, they are truly walking in the flesh, because their book is the book of flesh. Muhammad had brought about this book. It was a very wicked and a sinful man. So Ishmael, their very progenitor, came in from the flesh. Daniel 2:43 says this folly deity will mingle themselves with the seed of man. And we see this how Allah mingled himself with the seed of Father Abraham, and to bring out his own seed, which is Ishmael, that came from the flesh. That is going to do a lot of damage. It's going to walk in the flesh because it was born of the flesh. Therefore, it's after the flesh. Therefore, it's going to walk after the flesh. It's going to do the things of the flesh, not the spirit at all. Okay, not the spirit, because the royal law is spiritual. Romans chapter 7 says that it is spiritual. It's not carnal. Quran is full of carnality. So it's going to carry out the words of flesh against you. Whosoever that break the edge of the serpent is going to bite. Father Abraham did. We say the serpent that came from there, it is Ishmael. Get ready not to bite everyone. Okay? But you can't escape it. That's what we are talking about. Read Daniel 11. You're going to see the disaster Ishmael, the anti-Messiah, is going to do. Okay, listen to part 4. The religious war. The 4 horses men. Who are they? Go and listen. You will see the damages they are going to do here on earth. So from where Agar came from, we know what they normally worship. They worship vagina. That is the reward Allah have in paradise, 72 virgin for any suicide bomber. Here on earth, also vagina. They call it their right hand possession. And Allah's right hand possession, again, it is vagina. Rebobobo shantayabu sikiya. Rikas kalababos klimahan talabos santalabos siki.